Hello everyone. I want to pose a challenge to us this day. I just sat here and then I just started thinking, and I flashed back when I was growing up, when I was a little girl. I remember when growing up, my family background is actually a Christian family, and we are Anglican. We practice back in my home. We practice the Anglican faith. So, in the Anglican church, young girls actually participate in a club called the Girls Friendly Society Club, which is the GFS. So every Saturday in the afternoons we will meet in church for girl teachings, where young girls will be grouped according to ages, the young age and the, like for instance, those that are not yet in the adolescent stage will be put in their own group, and then we'll have the other adolescent girls in another group. So we'll have the older women in the church, like about, let's say, a maximum of around 5, will come to talk to us, the young girls, and they will teach us how to behave, how to carry ourselves around when growing up, so that we may become women of substance, are respectable women of the society. And so one thing that I started asking myself was, whenever we will go to church, the ladies alone. There were no boys. So I started wondering, what was the church doing about the boys? Because I remember we would go to church for we call it the boys brigade, where the boys will take part in marching exercises. I also see it in various churches today. So, and the girls will also take part in the marching exercises because it was enjoyable and interesting. Yeah. But when it comes to teachings, the instilling of values into these young children, I will only see the young girls being taught by the elderly women, but I will not see the young boys being taught. So today I pose a challenge to us. When we concentrate too much on educating the girl child in actually instilling values in their lives, what are we doing about our boys? Back then we'll see that the boys were just let free and they will just do what they wanted. They were just too free. You'll never see people really being concerned very much about the behavior of the boys. And so the boys grew up so freely in such manner that they will actually, and they actually grew up knowing that they are the men of the society. And so that is when they now began building up their egos, which is not bad. It's a good thing, of course. But my concern is about instilling values into them. I don't know whether I am really clear, because I believe when children are growing at that young or tender age, that is when we now start instilling our values into the lives of people. In Swahili we say that the way mtoto mleavyo ndivyo akuavyo, as in the way you bring up a child, that is how they will definitely grow up into being. So if you start showing a child from the young age that they need to respect themselves, they need to preserve they need to carry themselves around in a certain manner that shows respect, that is how they will grow up. If you start showing a child that doing bad is actually good, they will grow up comfortably knowing that that is the way of living. And so today I look at our society in the aspect of people violating the normal norms you know, we fail to bring up our children in such kind of a manner of letting them know that if you violate certain norms, important values, important norms in the society, you are actually creating conflict after all that. Because children will actually violate important norms. Like, for instance, let me use just a basic thing. Like, for instance, in each and every relationship, love relationship today, I believe, like, we say marriage is a commitment, and just as God created the relationship between him and human beings in such a way that he gave them commandments, the 10 commandments, we see that of which out of the 10 commandments, the greatest of them all is love. So even today in our relationships, the human to human relationship, the greatest commandment is love. And so in this love relationship, where the commandment is basically love, when we look at the 10 commandments given by God to human beings, where we say you should not have any other God but me, you should remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, you should not steal, you shall not kill, you shall not covet. Those are the basic rules in each and every relationship that we have, the human to human relationship, where you're expected to, let's say, you shall not commit murder, you know, you shall not steal, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, you shall. In every relationship there are rules, just like the way there are rules that we actually follow for the basic purpose, or for the sole purpose of actually maintaining the commitment one has to God. And so for there to remain the commitment of marriage or love relationship, there must be rules that also must be followed. And so, like, for instance, in a relationship, like the love relationship or marriage relationship, where basically the rule there is love, if the parties involved, when they were being brought up from their young age, they never saw maybe love, or, and the basic, let me use the concept today where people are just too careless, in the sense that they do not value the human relationship to the point of being really loyal to each other and faithful. And so you find that when one was being brought up, these people never got the education well that they need to respect themselves. For you to respect the other person, you must respect yourself first. And so you respecting yourself first means that you need to carry yourself in a way that is acceptable before God, and in a way that is acceptable before the other person next to you. What do I mean? Like, for instance, you are in a love relationship, your partner doesn't expect you to have other affairs with other people. So if you in a relationship you feel like that is just okay, such that you even have these secret affairs and you're just comfortable, then it means that there's something that was wrong with your upbringing somehow, because I guess you just didn't adopt that behavior in your grown-up age. You actually saw it somewhere. You basically were molded by the society that you grew up in. And so I want to say that we need to mold our children, not only girls but even men, because I want to believe there are so many men out there who were never told that let me not use a direct example. I want to say that there are men out there, I know there could, not all of them, definitely a percentage, that they just grew up freestyle, knowing that they are the men, and they actually cultivated their ego very well, such that they cannot be told anything. From their upbringing, they are the man, they are the men. so they cannot be told anything. And that is why we have so many rotten men in the society today, jumping from one woman to the other, heartbreaking women, not even caring so much about the consequences, not really being moved by the damage they are making. So let us bring up responsible people in the society by molding them from their young age. Let us teach our young boys how to treat women, how to treat their fellow like girls, Yeah, I don't know whether I'm really making sense, but anyway, at least today I know it. If it doesn't make sense to everyone, at least it makes sense to somebody. Yeah, but there's need to be change in the society, for real. There's need for change in the society. Yeah, there's need for change, and change begins with an individual. You have to decide to change. Yeah, decide to change you as an individual first. Otherwise, shalom, 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 shalom. Valentino, Valentino, Valencia. Oh, bye. Say bye. Bye. Say bye. Say hello.